Welcome to Shanti Peace Yoga. Today's practice is a 15-minute hip flow designed to ease out any tension stored in the hips and to help open and create space for better hip mobility. Also joining us today is our resident Yogi Bear, so I hope you enjoy his gentle presence. Let's begin on our mat in a wide-legged child's pose, Balasana. Sitting on the heels, bring the big toes together and widen the knees. Sitting tall, take an inhale, and now exhale as you fold forward, arms extend overhead, and forehead rests on the ground. Our intention is to open our hips here, so keep sinking your hips back and allow your breath to slow down and deepen, feeling a bit more tension release with every exhale. Take one more deep inhale and use your exhale to release Balasana and come up onto your hands and knees. Place your hands shoulder width apart and knees hip width apart. Step your left foot forward between the hands, coming into Anjaneyasana, low lunge. We'll start with our fingertips just touching the ground and chest is lifted. Check that your bent knee is stacked over your ankle. Inhale and exhale as you lift your torso upright and begin to sink down, feeling an anterior hip stretch on the right side. Check that you still have your left knee in alignment and draw your lower belly in to support your lower back. Keep your gaze soft but steady, looking straight ahead. Take one more inhale, and now exhale as you lower your hands back down, but bring your left hand to the inside of your bent knee. Start to walk your left foot over to the long edge of your mat, and you should feel an opening in that left hip. Find your edge and stay there. Be careful not to overstretch. Try to keep length in your back, avoid hunching over too much, and use your exhalations to help sink your hips down even more. If you want to intensify this stretch, come into lizard pose with me by rotating onto the outer edge of the left foot, and depending on your hip mobility, you may be able to lower onto your forearms. Otherwise, let your arms support you and deepen your breath. If you have come onto your forearms, you can relax your head and let it be heavy. Take one more inhale, and now use your exhale to release and lift your chest upright. We're not done yet though. We're coming into pigeon pose, so heel toe your foot over to the right side of the mat. It's here that you may need a pillow or prop to place under your left hip, just to bring the ground a bit closer to you. Square off your hips to the front and keep sending that extended leg out behind you, stretching it back while lowering the left hip down. You can choose to stay upright here or come onto your forearms. Take any ego out of this practice. Hip mobility takes time to establish, and some days we just aren't as flexible as others. We're going to hold here for about 30 seconds. Take one more inhale and use your exhale to release. Place your hands in front of you and curl your right toes under to assist you in transitioning now into downward dog. And I didn't realize our little Yogi Bear had come behind me, so I'm working around him a little bit here, but he's just so cute, so I can't tell him to get out of the way. We're using this downward dog, Adho Mukha Shavasana, as a nice counter pose. Hopefully you're feeling a bit of length and release down that left hip. Feel free to pedal out your feet, getting some movement and mobility into the back of your legs. From here, really bend into your right knee while keeping the left leg long, and sort of press your chest towards that left leg, and you should feel this into your left hip and glute. Inhale, and now exhale as you change sides, bending the left knee and really straightening that right leg. Take one more inhale and exhale. Come back to center. Inhale again as you lift and extend your left leg skyward. Exhale as you bend that left knee, bringing your heel to your glute, really opening up your left hip once more. Take one more inhale and exhale as you lower that left foot back to the floor. Onto the other side, inhale and raise your left leg skyward. Exhale, bend the knee, right heel to right glute. Take one more inhale and exhale, release. Look to the top of your mat and step your right foot forward between your hands, coming into a low lunge on the other side. Left knee lowers to the ground and our chest is lifted off of that bent leg. Make sure your knee is stacked over your ankle. Inhale and use your exhale to assist you in bringing your torso upright, sinking down a bit further into your hips while still maintaining correct alignment of your right knee. You should feel this stretch down your left anterior hip and keep your hips square to the front. Your gaze is soft and steady, looking straight ahead, lower belly drawn in to help support your lower back. We'll bring our hands back down to the mat, but place your right hand to the inside of your bent knee. Walk your right foot over to the long edge of the mat and again sink down a little bit further into your hips if you can. Hands are under our shoulders and the bent knee is still stacked over the ankle. Try to maintain length in your spine. Continue to deep breathe. Like before, if you want to intensify this stretch, come into lizard pose with me by rotating onto the outer edge of the right foot. And you can lower to your forearms here if your hip mobility allows. We're gonna hold here for about 30 seconds, but pull back at any time. Use your next exhale to help release this pose, but remember we still have pigeon pose to get through. So walk your right foot over to the left side of the mat, square off your hips, and I'm going to use this blanket here to help prop up my right hip because my right side is feeling just a little bit more tighter than my left. You can stay here with your chest lifted or you can lower down onto your forearms, letting your head be heavy, and you can let your spine round here. Play around with whatever feels good. You might start off more upright, and as your breathing deepens and slows, you might have more opening and mobility in your hip to lower down. Take one more inhale, and with a deep exhale, press yourself back upright, release this pose, and come to lay onto your back. We're going to come into reclined butterfly or Supta Baddha Konasana as our final resting pose. With your knees bent, bring the soles of your feet together and then allow your legs to naturally open. Just let gravity do the work here. You don't want to force your knees down, and you can have your feet close to you or away from you. Play around with whatever feels nice. Once you've found your position, maybe take your arms out wide, palms to the ceiling. Start to soften your eyes, or even close your eyes. Direct your breath down into your belly, feeling it rise and expand with every inhale, and lower and soften with every exhale. Start to straighten your legs, extending them out long. Maybe take your arms up over your head, taking a deep stretch, just doing whatever feels natural and comfortable for you. When you're ready, come to lay onto your side. Rest here for a moment, taking your time. Very slowly, make your way upright into a seated position, any position that feels comfortable for you. We'll finish by taking 3 deep breaths. Inhale and raise your arms up overhead, palms touch, and exhale, hands to heart center. Again, inhale, arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Last time, inhale, arms reach up overhead, and exhale, hands together at heart center. We'll close our practice with our mantra. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Bowing forward. Namaste.